Hello, thanks for joining me again. So today we're talking about how to solve two-step equations. Two-step equations contain two steps. That is why they are named two-step equations. So let's take a look at how that works. All right, well, a two-step equation has two operations going on in it. Usually you've got addition or subtraction, and you've also got multiplication or division. So in order to solve these types of equations, you're going to follow step 1 and 2 that I have highlighted for you. Step 1 is we are going to get rid of the number being added or subtracted to the variable using the opposite operation. So if it's being added, you're going to subtract it. If it is being subtracted, you're going to add it. That gets rid of that number. The second step is to get rid of the number being multiplied or divided using the opposite operation. So if it's being multiplied, you're going to divide to get rid of it. If it's being divided, you're going to multiply to get rid of it. So that's it. It's not really that hard. This reminder is still very important. Whatever we do to one side of the equal sign, we have to do to the other side. We have to look at that equal sign as if it is a mirror. All right, whatever you do on one side of the mirror, hopefully the mirror image is going to do back to you. So if you wave in a mirror, hopefully that mirror version of you waves back. If not, you've got a real problem. All right, or you can think of it, it's a scale. So that equal sign is kind of the fulcrum of a scale. We like to keep our equations balanced. So if you were to put a bunch of weight on one side of a scale, it would throw everything off balance. So you'd have to put the exact same amount of weight on the other side of the scale. So you got to be equal, right? So you have to do the same thing to both sides of your scale. You have to do the same thing to both sides of your equal sign. Whatever happens on one side of the mirror has to happen on the other side of the mirror. Let's do an example real quick. Here we have the equation 3x plus 2 equals 17. If we follow my two steps, the first thing we're going to do is to get rid of the number being added or subtracted. So a 2 is being added. So in order to get rid of that, we're going to do the opposite operation. We're going to subtract 2. Okay, so we do that here, but we also have to do it here. That equal sign is our balance or our mirror. Okay, so when we do that, okay, 2 minus 2, that just cancels out and goes away. So we're left with 3x on the left. All right, so we just write 3x. We also write our equal sign, and 17 minus 2 is 15. So our new equation is 3x equals 15. Now it's important to rewrite your equation after you've applied your first step because it keeps it organized so you can easily see what you should be doing. If you were to try and do everything all at once, or if you were to try and solve this without rewriting the equation, you start to get sloppy and you start to mess up. So rewrite your equation. Next, we are going to divide by 3. Since 3 is being multiplied by x, do the opposite and divide by 3. All right, and that's going to give us x equals 5. Okay, so x is 5. If you wanted to test that, you could plug it into the original equation. 3 times 5 is 15 plus 2 is 17, which is exactly what we said. All right, let's do a few more. So you can see I've put my two steps up here for you. First, add and subtract. Second, multiply and divide. All right, so let's just take this an equation at a time. So here we have 6 plus 2x equals 18. In order to solve, first we are going to subtract 6. All right, because that's a positive 6, we're going to subtract 6. 6 minus 6 is 0, so over here you're just left with 2x. So we write 2x equals 18 minus 6 is 12. All right. So we've got 2x equals 12. In order to solve this, we're going to divide by 2. And after we do that, we find that x equals 6. All right, coming over here, 4x minus 3 equals 13. So since this 3 is being subtracted, we're going to add 3 in order to get rid of that 3. Because this is the same as a negative 3. So a negative 3 plus a positive 3 is going to give you 0. That's the whole point. We want to get rid of that 3. We want it to turn into a 0, because then we can work without it. So these two cancel out, and we have 4x equals 16. All right, so in order to solve now, we have to divide by 4. All right, and I started to write big, so I ran out of room. So 4x divided by 4 is just x, and 16 divided by 4 is 4. All right. Okay, next we have 7 plus x divided by 7 equals 10. So the first thing we need to do is get rid of our 7. We're going to subtract it. 7 minus 7 is 0, so we're left with x divided by 7 equals 10 minus 7 is 3. All right. Now, in order to solve here, since this is a division problem, x divided by 7, we're going to multiply by 7. We do the opposite. That will get rid of that 7.
Please call attention 4309 to Shields. Call 4309.
Sorry for that. All right, so x divided by 7 times 7 gives us an x, and 3 times 7 is 21. So x is 21. All right, last problem. X divided by 5 minus 3 equals 2. If we start with our 3, since it's being subtracted, we are going to add. Okay, so we're going to add to both sides of our equal sign. That gets rid of this 3, and we have x divided by 5 equals 5. All right, so this is x divided by 5. We are going to multiply by 5 in order to solve. When we do that, we get x equals 25. Okay, it's a really repetitive process. Hopefully, once you practice it a while, it gets easier and easier, and you're able to do it. Thank you for watching my video. See you next time.